When I started practice in 1989, actually, the healthcare service as such in Pembrey was primitive completely. The facilities were non-existent either, or they were just existing for the namesake. So the transformation happened when Aditya Birla Hospital started in this area, and suddenly the healthcare improved a lot. At one stage, I still think that Aditya Birla Memorial Hospital was not only the leading hospital in terms of infrastructure in Pimri Chinchwad, but in fact in Pune, all. Now that they have some other hospitals come up, but it's almost like they are trying to catch up with this organization. Whether it's a pediatric intensive care or a neonatal intensive care, they have completely transformed the way we treat our babies. I'm so happy with the infrastructure that the hospital provides, with the consultants, the quality of care that the patient receives, the way the protocols are followed so meticulously, like any hospital which one can come across abroad. Initially, there was little fear in a general population, not with the doctors, because we generally are not concerned with the cost of care initially. The cost comes a little later. When patient comes to us, the first thing happens to us is, okay, he needs treatment. Last week, I had referred one case about an 8-day-old baby from one of the slums that's come to me. And it was a day 8-old baby, and I thought that baby might not pull on, not even for 1 hour in my own OPD. So I told them that this is the only place where you can go right away, and probably this is the only place where you can get your baby saved. Incidentally, they came here, even though they were from the lower strata. They came here. The baby was diagnosed to have obstructive TAPVC, some cardiac problem, where it was so critical. The situation was critical. Baby was immediately given primary care, immediately diagnosed. Patient was eventually given the treatment, and lo and behold, the patient is completely fine. Previously, in 90s, the patient's moms used to ask questions as to what homemade diet they should be offering. Now obviously the questions are gravitating towards which formula I should be offering. What is happening is that we are all shifting from something which is cooked, which is made, taken efforts. So there's a lot of kind of love and affection that is already gotten in the food first. But now, because of the paucity of time, what's happening is that everyone is going towards ready to eat, ready to cook kind of formulas. In terms of time that's available to the working moms, obviously the first casualty is obviously the baby who is little grown up now. So after 6 months, gradually what happens is that the time given to the kids goes on suffering, and that can be seen over a period of time also when the child is 3.5 years, and later on, I mean, as as a child gets exposed to a lot many other things outside, and they get exposed to the supermarkets quite early. They get exposed to the different food items which are shown on TV and continuously bombarded upon. So their food habits or likings and the taste, they change drastically from homemade diet towards something which is really tasty, really kind of thing, easily available, easy to munch on. See, previously India was known for only malnutrition. Now, what's happening is that 30%, one third of our population is again malnourished, but it's on the other side of the malnourishment. They are 30% of them, they are obese, they are overweight. So we should be really looking at this point, because they are going to be the future of our nation. So if we see that 30% of the kids are obese, overweight, I mean, they are going to be the obese, overweight added to the burden at a later date. First thing that I would choose is obviously the diet. It's a family diet, and they should have it together, and they should have a family diet cooked at home as often as is possible. It should be a balanced diet, no matter whether you are a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian. There has to be plenty of variety in it. Kids obviously have some likes and dislikes, no doubt about it, but they need to be taught. It's a matter of patience. Two, Most another area where I'm concerned with is exposure to the audio visual media early on. The mobiles phones have become toys in the hands of parents who they offer it as early as possible. So they are very happy that their child clicks some photos maybe at 6 months of age or a selfie at 6 months of age, but they shouldn't be really exposing kids to audiovisual media so early, because media addiction is not only there in the adolescents and adults, but it's like they are creating a situation early on in life where the child will be completely isolated from, the baby will live in virtual society and virtual reality, not in the real world. And a third possible concern that I see often now is that the kids are being pushed into the formal education too early. It's easy to say, I know. It's a social need sometimes that the child needs to be taken care of for maybe couple of hours or 3 hours. But pushing the child in a playgroup at the age of 2 years is not a very good idea. The moment child comes back home, the mom's first question is, "Aaj kya sikha?" and "Aaj kya sikhaya?" It's not that she asks you, "Aaj kya khila?" That's a problem. So pushing these kids early on in this competitive this thing and killing their childhood early on is going to be a little sad story later on. I would say they will eventually land up in the competitive things. They will cope up. There's no question about it. For hundreds of years, we have been following the same thing. As you mature, grow, become adolescent and adult, you cope up with the reality then, and obviously you come out of it. It's not that pushing them early will give better citizens of tomorrow.
Aditya Birla Memorial Hospital, Chinchwad, Pune.